Hey, today I'm gonna do a quick comparison between the Techmoo and the Sunny Health and Fitness under desk bike pedal, show you everything you need to know, and similarities and differences, and overall which one I prefer. So let's go ahead and start with the Techmoo. Let's talk about the assembly process for both of them. First thing, one thing I want to talk about is what they include as well. Is this includes a mat underneath for a non-slip, and this strap that you can go ahead and wrap around the bottom of it, and you can also wrap it around the bottom or the base of your office chair or at your desk, and that's just going to help with keeping it in place. This one does not include those, but let's go ahead and move on to the assembly process. So basically you have to just assemble the two legs, and it comes with all the tools that you need. And then the next thing, which is the hardest part, I would say, is the pedals. So getting the pedals on can be a little bit of a pain. You have to use a wrench. And one thing I think that would make it better is if there was a nut that was right here to tighten it, that you would, it would make it more stable, more sturdy. So as I'm using it, I'm going to demonstrate. It can get a little bit wobbly, and that's, I think, in part to do with the pedal. Another thing is the computer thing was really stuck and it was hard to pop out, but it did not have a battery included. So I needed to take it out, and I just basically used a little bit of leverage to pop it out. And then it requires a AAA battery, so keep that in mind as well. This one did not include the battery, whereas this one did. It's already set in, so as soon as you start pedaling, it will turn on, which this one turns on as well once you start pedaling. But this assembly was a little bit harder, just because you had to assemble the two legs, same as that, and the pedals. But this is what I was talking about. If this had a nut like this one does, it would just make the pedals more stable and secure. This one's longer as well, the base, so I'm going to be using a shorter chair for this one. You can adjust the tension right here for this one. Hear that clicking sound. This one has a clicking sound as well. I think the tension adjustments are great for both of them. Now, another thing is the actual straps are diagonal for this one, and this is actually something that was hard to get on for the assembly process too, is you have to actually get the strap in place. So it's a little bit of a pain with that, but let's go ahead and actually use it. So something I also kind of do is I kind of point my feet out, and I also don't use shoes just because it's really hard to get in the straps with shoes on. And I point my feet out because the straps will sometimes rub against the side if you don't. Then here below, you can see it's going through. The top is showing the speed, and then the bottom shows the distance, time, and the calories, and it kind of just rotates through those, shows an arrow as it's going through. And if you want to reset it, press that red button for about 5 seconds. So something else, if you're using a chair that's higher up, it's kind of a weird angle because it's a little bit more forward. So if as I'm using this one, it's more up and down of a motion, whereas this one is more of a like forward, like this. So it's kind of weird. The higher up you are in a chair, like the more awkward it'll feel. So this one actually feels fine being at a lower angle, so it doesn't really feel as awkward. But something else that I do that I didn't put on here is I use these ankle weights to just help stabilize it, and I put it at the base of the feet. But I think this one is just so stable and secure that it doesn't really need that. It's not wobbly at all, very sturdy. And it's nice that it also has a handle, so you can move around a lot easier. Now let's go ahead and move to the Techmoo. I'm gonna first show you without the ankle weights at the base, and then I'll go ahead and use it. So we gotta tighten this. This one rotates through similar things: the time, the speed, distance, and calories, and it just shows one on the screen at a time. So you can just tell it's a lot more wobbly as I'm pedaling on it. And now I'll just go ahead and place the ankle weights at the top of the legs right here. and it makes a difference. Like, I can just feel that difference already. It's still a little bit wobbly, but it definitely makes it a lot better. Now the same idea, if you want to reset the timer, just hold down that red button and it will reset it for you. Overall, these are both great. They both do a good job. If you're using a higher chair, this one is more compact and kind of fits great. Like I mentioned, the cycle of the up and down motion I like about this one. But I think overall, this one just feels a lot smoother, a lot better, and a lot more sturdy. So I'd have to go with the Sunny Health and Fitness.